Count it. Oh, howdy.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. It's Monday, May 18th. Had to look down in the bottom corner of my computer because I forgot what day it was.
What are days?
I know,
what
right?
even are days?
How you doing, Chewy?
Good, man. I had some Taco Bell, so if I burp, I'm sorry. No, I'm good. I've got cleaned up some. Another day in quarantine, right?
Dude, yeah. I had a busy weekend this past weekend. I was working for an event that was actually here on Twitch called HomeCon. I was helping out with that, doing some different calls and whatnot with different people, and it was a lot of fun. It was a good time, but it took my my whole weekend. So I'm not glad that it's done, but I'm
weekend.
Yeah, right. Right. But it was a resounding success, so that is exciting.
Very nice. Yeah. I for those who were there, thank you guys for tuning in. I did the Clackers Care event on Saturday, but it ran from half of Saturday and most of Sunday. They hit the goal, 10,000, which is crazy. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But that's why Osiris wasn't able to. We'll get more into, like I said, we'll get more into the Clackers Care thing here in a few. We got one spicy topic, at least one, that I'm excited to vent about a little bit. As well as some cool things coming up. So it's going to be some good conversation. But one thing that, well, you know what? First, let's go through our awesome sponsors, starting with switchmod.net/mexondeck for 4% off lube and springs, as well as, I don't remember. I've been kind of out of it. I want to say thank you for your patience with us. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But I don't remember if GMK Frostwitch is still going on.
I
believe it it's about to. Okay.
Yeah, it's still
so
up.
You last couple days for GMK Frostwitch, if you like purple, if you like that saturated, like, kind of muted purple look, definitely go pick up a set of that. That code does not work for any 4% discount, but it does help us. Dixie Mech, can go to mexondeck.dixiemech.com, pick up GMK, and you can grab that. And GMK Moto Round 2 just got announced for next month. So if you want GMK Moto Round 2, it's still probably my second favorite set of all time.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And shout out to Dixie. I got it to glow, which is great. He got these flowers for us, for me and my wife. And I thought it looked cool that it kind of glows in the back. So definitely check them out. Project Keyboards, you can go to mexondeck.project.link, pick up GMK Masterpiece running right now. Very, very awesome set. Canonkeys.com/mexondeck for GMK Deep Navy. So be sure to check out that set, as well as some really awesome stuff coming up with him soon. And he is also the sponsor that sponsored the Ortho 75, which we are giving out at the end of this stream. Yep. And so thank you guys very much.
Yeah, and then of course a couple partners that we have, Zap Cables. Head on over to Zap Cables, pick up some stuff. They've I think he's got a new color of detachables, a tungsten color. I don't know if those are still in stock. I haven't checked, but I know he put them up a couple days ago. So check those out, as well as Type Beast. Sign up for that newsletter, and then a new one which we still need to update. Chewy and I were talking about that before we started. Smith and Rune. So be on the lookout for the Iron 180 and Iron 165 extras should be soon.
Yeah, very, very soon. So yeah, big shout out to our awesome sponsors and partners. We're going to bring back something that we haven't done in a hot minute. And we had this idea a long time ago, like, oh, it'd be cool to, like, what's on your desk when you rotate boards a lot. And then we realized that we were like, some of our boards aren't really here yet, or some are like not really being used because they're in the mix of getting rebuilt or something like that, which was what's on your desk. We figured we stopped when every single week was both TX60s. So, Osiris, what is on your desk today?
Yeah, so I'll make myself big here. Couple things. I know Kinnick did ask, did I get new headphones? I did. These are the Hi-Fi Man Sundara headphones. They sound great. Much better like actual audio quality versus the SteelSeries headset I was using before. I do still use that some just because it's wireless, makes it easy if I'm like playing games. I can get up and walk around, grab water, go to the bathroom, and I don't have to worry about taking my headset off. But I love these; they sound great. And then Jeff, thank you, my baby face. It's coming back, coming back. As far as what is on my desk right now, I am using a Bauer. Still rocking the Bauer GMK 8008. I did, however, get in the silicon caps. I just got the swirl. I really like the way it looks. I think it looks pretty freaking awesome. I think some people were talking about how they don't really stay on super well, and it's like it doesn't really bother me. I put it on a cap I don't use a ton, which is my delete key. At least at home, I don't use that very often. So I think it looks really good, and I think they did a great job of matching the colors as well. So that's what's on my desk, Chewy. What about you?
I'm still rocking since the build, the 24-hour stream, my Singa V1 polycarbonate with Moto round 1, with some fun artisans from Prime Caps, CYO.
Oh, Salvin.
Salvin, thank you for the raid. I will start over. We are doing a what's on your desk for those. Coinstorm, thank you for the host as well. What are you typing on today? This is my polycarbonate Singa, and it's got Holy Pandas in it, 74-gram springs, Luba 3204, with some artisans from Prime Caps, CYO, and Sodi Caps. Moto, like second favorite set of all time behind camping. So you can pick this up next month at probably a cheaper price than I paid for it, because they split off the numpad. Whether you like that or not, up to you. But it will be a lot cheaper, which is going to be nice. So, and no, I will not pick up a second set of it, because I do think I don't need 2 sets of something unless it was in a different profile. This is GMK, so cherry profile.
Yeah, so that's GMK profile or cherry profile. Still running again in GMK. They didn't change it up. I'm really excited for Moto R2 because I didn't get in on R1, so I think I'm gonna try to see if I can pick up a set of round 2, because I think it's a set that Chewy and I have talked a lot about how we try to make sure we don't have all of the same sets, because there was a while where we bought a lot of the exact same set. So that I think that's one that can kind of have a pass there, because it's just so.
It's a classic, and it's classic, and it's kind of basic, and it goes with basically everything. So it's just, and you'll technically it'll be different because it will have the centered legends.
True. The new centered legends, which I enjoy.
Will be different. So hot take. I'm sorry. After seeing 8008, honestly, not that big of a fan of the centered legends. I think that the non-centered legends, in my opinion, look better. Now, is that going to ruin a keycap set for me? No. But that is my opinion, man.
I wonder, so I had this conversation, I think, with actually Dixie himself, of is that thought process biased because that has been what you are used to for so long? If it was flip-flopped and it was old, and it was centered was before and they changed to non-centered, would you have the same opinion? Never really know the answer to that question, but I think there's also there's something to be said there for that.
I mean, 100%. I'm sure it's just like, that's what I like. This is different, but end of the day, you can choose to dislike something for any reason.
Absolutely.
Zerkowski, how's it going, man? Also, man, get ready to get banned with that statement. 65% the best.
It's okay, Zerkowski, you're safe. Chewy will ban you, and then I'll just instantly unban you. So
I do like text plus icon, Jeff. I think that's probably my favorite. What it is on camping. But yeah, it's I'm excited to see more people get moto. You know, the first run was only like 500 something sets. I think it's going to easily clear 2,000. So you know, it'll be nice. You know, the fact I don't personally care about flip prices, especially on something that I'm never gonna sell. You know, I've been offered a lot of money for moto before, and I was just like, sorry, like I don't want to go 2 years without my modern Dolch kit, and I don't care that I can pay for it, you know, 4 times over. Like, I just don't want to sell it. Like, and it was kind of that was the first set that I kind of took a gamble on, and I was like, I think I'm gonna like this. I think I really am gonna like this, and I'm so glad that I got it. So it was, you know, I got that and Olivia were the first 2 sets that I really got in as a keycap group buy. So
both great choices, by the way. two of the top sets from 2018.
you know it. I have good taste, right? And camping lost to moto, so it gets a pass. It could have gone further, but it lost to the second place, like in the 3rd round or something.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. All right, so we got some spice today. You wanna get into
okay,
the personalized spice?
There's some before I start this, I would like to say, or I'll just explain. Basically, I won't name him, but most people will probably know who I'm talking about. There's someone on Reddit offering switch building services, and not really switch building like you send him switches to build, but more of just these pre-built switches that he takes. A lot of them are mixing of Zelio and like Holy Panda or Halo style switches, which, you know, Holy Zelios are not new. None of these things are really new. He's kind of gone with a theme due to some of these like turquoise Telios and the aqua Xylants that have come out. He has kind of made this little theme, I guess, with water of all these different switches. But one of them that he named the Murky Switch is a Zyko. Now, first and foremost, I don't care that he renamed the Zyko. I want just blanket statement. I don't give a shit. Zyko's a dumb name. The only reason I called it a Zyko is because I kept messaging Eric and being like, man, these Franken switches with Zeal bottoms and Yak tops and Halo stems are great. And I was like, and I think there's somewhere in there where I even said, like, I don't want to name these, but I might have to because I'm sick and tired of fucking explaining what they are. Like in a tech, I'd rather just like, hey, I am talking about Zykos. And then Zykos just kind of came to me. And so I named him Zykos. He called them murky switches. He's going with this like water theme. Chugze, thank you for the follow. He's going with this water theme, which you know, they're called like holy water, and honestly, I only remember holy water and murky. But he's selling them at a in my opinion, a very high markup, an extremely high markup. So Zykos already are like around the $2 mark per switch, not like $2 for 10, like like $20 per 10 switches, because this community kind of judges everything off of 10 switches. It would literally cost you somewhere between $2 or $20 and $24 per 10 switches. And he is selling them for like $34 for 10 switches or $32 for 10 switches, which is a 50% markup from an already incredibly expensive switch.
Yeah.
I can personally say, don't get at least with these murky switches, do not buy this. That is too expensive. And for something that you can probably do yourself, or you could probably buy these and send them to someone and say, can you lube these for me? And you will spend less money.
Yeah, and on top of that, there was a couple things that about it that were um n-
Mhm.
somewhat alarming, or not alarming, but maybe we'll say alarming, just for lack of a better term. You know, honestly, when you're purchasing switches, and really any switches, and everyone likes lube a certain way. Everyone likes their switches to feel a certain way. And typically it is very normal for people to use tactile switches to use 3203 or 3204. And even with 3204, people say go fairly light. Now with the lube that he was using, which is 205 grade 0 on tactiles, there is a lot of variance in how, if the switch is lubed with 205 grade 0, because um, if you were to lube over lube with 205 grade 0 on a tactile, it's going to reduce the tactile bump significantly. It's going to really change the way that switch feels, and the person may not get the representation or the feel out of the switch that they were looking for. Whereas if you do it on your own, you can figure out which lube you like with them. You can do some test switches. You can do, maybe I want 3203 on the top and or on the stem, and then 3204 in the base. You can mix and mash these things. You can figure out what you like. 205 grade 0 is not the most universally used lube for tactiles by a very significant margin. I know people are saying 3203 or 3204, personal opinion. Yes, it is a personal opinion, but it is going to affect the way the switch feels.
Mm-hmm. Keone, so because of how sluggish that makes it will make it sluggish, but it'll also smooth it out and make it move really, really fast, which when the switch is made, it's made with the thought process of like, this is the only thing that's making it that's making contact, and smoothing that out that much with that thick of a grease is going to make it slip easier, which is going to throw off what the tactility is. While yes, you can just avoid the why you can just avoid the legs, because of how thick it is, you're smoothing out the entire switch as a whole, and it will just start to lose. Now with something like a Zyko, you can go to a 5 grade 0. I personally don't recommend it, because the whole point of a Zyko is to make the absolute most tactile switch that I can in an MX housing. So using 205 grade 0 takes away from that tactility. So you might like it. Once again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you don't ever do it. But if you want to try it, go for it. But it's not something I would personally recommend if the idea for this whole thing is go for tactility.
Because the other piece of that too is, while 205 grade 0, you can use it, and if you're consistent, you can get a great feel out of it on a tactile switch. You don't know this person's lube. Not saying that it's bad. I haven't felt these switches either, but you don't know if what they do and their process, and their amounts and their consistency is going to vibe with what you like as a keyboard enthusiast.
Mm-hmm. So here's the actual thing that what's a Zyko? Sounds similar to my last name, username, Zerkite. So a Zyko is, did I do that right? I think I did Zykos there it is. It's a Franken switch with a Zelio V2 bottom, a Yacht Panda top, and a Halo stem.
Which I just want to give you a shout out, because your name makes sense. Like if you follow, like, okay, Holy Panda uses a Halo stem and then a Panda housing. Zyko, the Z is from Zeal, the Y and the K are from the Yacht, which was made initially with Yacht housings, and then OS is from the Halos. That makes sense. Murky does not make sense.
I mean,
just my thought process.
That's why.
On that.
Okay,
personal opinion.
That literally is why I named it Zyko. So for those who are wondering why it's named Zyko, he just described it. Here's why I'm mad. All right, and I'm that I'm actually going to do this. So I just desoldered a board that had Zycos in it. And I'm going to demonstrate that you can ruin Zycos very easily. So I've described this before, so sorry if I sound like a broken record. Zycos, while they are amazing switches, are very, very fragile. So Zelios, they're the two pins that you solder onto, they are not held in place by the plastic around it. They are loosely in there. And how they counteract that is the top. I'll show them. I'll show them on camera in a second, but I don't have autofocus on. But I'll do it in a second because I'm going to ruin one of these Zycos. I'm going to show you how easy it is to ruin. So the leaf just kind of sits in there, and the top housing of a Zelio or Gatoron switch in general has these two little blockers. And when you put them in, those blockers will prevent the leaf from doing anything, or either of the two solder pens from doing anything. When you take off the Zelio and put on a Yacht top, and the reason the Yacht top is there is for the sound. It doesn't really change the feel, but it sounds significantly better than the all Zelio housing. That Yacht top doesn't have the pens because Yacht housings, the pins are just molded into the plastic, thus holding the pins in place. So you don't have to worry about damaging the pen or the leaf. And so now that there's this empty gap on the top, you can actually push these pins in. And I'm going to see if it works on this just because these are soldered, so it might actually not work. Honestly, we recommend if you want to do this, use pre-soldered Zelio V2s.
Make you big if you show off.
Yeah. Okay. This will work. All right. So yeah, I'll show it off in just. So here's what happens. Okay. So here is a Zyco Halo stem Yacht top Zelio V2 bottom. So I can, with these metal pins, this is soldered, so it's a lot more difficult, but hold on.
The other piece too that I didn't even think about until literally just now is the fact that because he's filming them as well, it's going to cause even more issues when you get them into a plate, which would, the main issue that causes these things to break when you're putting them in is something like when you're putting a switch in, and everyone's done it, where you put the switch in and you bend a pin. With Zyco switches, instead of bending the pin goes in the switch and destroys it. So it really changes it.
With the fact that I'm super blurry, sorry. This is a Zelio. God, Discovery right here. It's really hard to do when they're soldered because adding that extra metal fills that gap up. But basically, those two pins, you can slide that pin in on a fresh Zelio, especially like if you open them up. You can slide that pin in and just right there ruin the switch. It turns it into it bends the leaf, and you're getting the tactility from the leaf. And now that you've bent the leaf, the switch is ruined. It's going to feel like it's going to bend in a way that makes there's no resistance. So you lose all your tactility. Can you bend the pen a little bit? Before making Zycos, I wouldn't recommend it. Honestly, your best bet is you could just add a little solder to the back.
Yeah, I have a fresh Zelio and I did it just messing with it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that you ruined a switch, but it happens. It happens that easy. And this is where I got super angry. Is he never mentions how fickle these $3.20 switches are. Not once does he go, hey, you can't put those switches, if they've never been soldered, you cannot put them in a hot swap. You will ruin half of your switches in a hot swap.
And not to
because
mention,
hot swaps are not meant to go in. They're meant to pinch in.
And not to mention the fact that, we don't know how he's shipping these switches, but unless he's shipping them in something like what the drop switches you get, where they come in those little plastic retainers, they can also get damaged in shipping just from literally just shaking in a plastic bag.
So there was someone, he's usually in chat. I won't call him out because I just don't know if he wants me saying, but he asked, "Hey, can you make me Zycos?" And I said, I'm happy to, but I'm weary about shipping them. Like they might get damaged. And I was, I warned many times, and I'm really not going to do it much. I will build someone's Zycos if I am building the board, because the other thing is sometimes Zycos don't really work out once you're all soldered. You might have found that actually you have done some damage to them. So when you're done building it, I built my wife a Bower with Zycos, and there was about 4 different switches I had to go back and replace after just discovering, hey, it happens. That's why with a Zyco build, I'm like, well, you're not really done with it for at least a week or 2. But he never mentions that this can happen. So you can spend, someone posted the link. Do some quick maths real quick. So it's $32.50 for 10 switches.
227.
And so $227.50 plus shipping.
That's for 70.
That's for 70. So that, and whenever I tell people, if you want to make Zycos, plan to make like 80, because you're going to have a high fail rate. If you've watched Minterly's stream, she's streaming right now. She said like Zycos have a high fail rate, and she had issues with them. And someone who's made thousands of switches, I've made thousands of switches. Osiris is about to make some Zycos for a board coming up that we're not going to talk about quite yet, but he's going to have I guarantee you he's going to have a hard time with some of them. IMURU, I think, is the only one that got lucky enough to do one where he made the perfect amount and it didn't work out. But I also haven't talked to him about whether or not those switches 100% work every single time. So yeah, $209. Honestly, if you're a 65% is really the only board I would recommend Zycos for.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're like, I think was it Capsy who did his Austin with
Austin.
Zycos? Unless you're a madman like him. But the thing is it was, we talked about it when it was posted, and I don't think we really saw it until about the day after. It would have been up for a day before we saw it. And I think it really just, there was a lot of talk about the prices, which, yes, I think a 50% markup is significant. But I can see why someone would want to charge that, and people are, rightfully so, could charge their own prices of what they want and how they feel their time and their effort is worth. People will still buy it. But I think the big thing for me was one other thing, but the big thing for me was not notifying people of the possibility of, hey, these might cause issues, because it's not just that it's bad to the consumer. They're going to get switches, and they're going to, if they break, then they're going to think that something's wrong, or that they messed up. But in reality, if you just put a disclaimer in there, he's going to avoid a lot of issues he's going to have later when people get their switches and they don't work.
Mm-hmm. And you have new people coming in who are going, well, I don't really want to try my hand at lubing. Lube can be kind of difficult to find, and it's a daunting task, and you don't know if you're doing it right. And so that's like the perfect thing for someone new who's like, I got in on an Iron 165, or I got in on a Bower, or I got in on, insert high-end keyboard here. I got in on a Key Colt, and I want to make this super like in-game, amazing, super expensive board. And then you buy these switches and you spend, $240 on these switches, which is like, honestly, I mean, that's like
almost
half
a board.
the price of them. That's
Yeah.
that's a lot of money for switches. So, it's one of those things that someone new is just not going to know this. They're not going to have the experience with building these switches. And I've said this before, I talk more shit about Zycos than I do talking them up. I absolutely love my Zyco board. It is probably my favorite board to type on when it comes to feel. It's so like it's amazing. I know Osiris has tried them and he really likes the feel that I have. But it's just one of those things that I'm like, with how much effort it is, it's really only worth one board. That's why I have these. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with these because I don't plan on putting them in another. Like, if I get like a 50% board, then maybe. But even then, I'm honestly probably just going to hold on to these and then say, hey, if someone is looking, send me like 20 extra switches and I'll build you a board. Like, I'm not, I just don't think it's an amazing switch, but I don't think it's really worth the hassle for a lot of people.
Well,
I
it's a
think it's worth
wasteful
it for
switch.
one board. Yeah, it is. And yeah, by the way, you can't flip flop it.
Yeah, you take if you're using the the drop panda holy pandas that you buy, you're taking two switches that aren't compatible. If you're using, a Yak or a Jesus switch with a Zeal and a Halo, you now have three things that don't really work together. And so it's one of those things. It's a wasteful switch, and it does feel great. It's a fantastic switch, and if you have the pieces to, and you're not using them, definitely worth it for one board. But doing it for everything, this is not an everything board. This is not like the same as people who are like, I love, vintage blacks. I'm only using vintage blacks. This is
have fun. And at the end of the day, you do you.
Yeah,
like,
true.
You do
True.
you. You do you. You want to make 10 Zyco boards? Have fun. Knock yourself out. Know you're going to be spending a lot of money. Know you're probably going to have a lot of extra broken pieces. If you are buying Zycos, technically you do not have to buy 80 of every switch for like a 60%. You just need to buy enough Zelios. But the issue there is the Zelio is actually the most expensive of the three switches.
Yeah.
Zycos are ruining the environment.
I know it doesn't bother you, but I do want to touch on it because it bothers me. And that is the name thing. And I was not frustrated that he changed the name. I was frustrated in the fact that it was called out that the Switch was the same. And it was called out that it was, already existed and was under this name. And it was the fact that he just like threw it off, which at the end of the day is not a big deal. And I'm probably being a little bit prissy to say anything about it, but there is something to be said about, like, you were the first one, right? Like, you get the ability to name it, like it is your creation in a sense. You were the one who discovered this, Quakeums discovered the Holy Panda, dubbed it the Holy Panda, and then he made it his thing, right? Like, it was his thing, and everyone knows that Quakeums made the Holy Panda, and it's been known by the Holy Panda.
If you have any questions about Holy Pandas, Quakeums loves answering questions about Holy Pandas.
But I mean, if this picks up and this goes crazy, it's like, it's robbing you of the fact, like, hey, you were the one that actually did this,
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, the issue, and by the way, I did not chime in. I have not spoken to this man. I don't think anything. I don't see. There's no benefit to me really reaching out to him other than potentially causing more arguments. Like, and I don't have Zyco's trademark. Zycos is a band. There's a band named Zycos.
Ironically, also from Texas.
Yeah, there you go. So, I don't have like a naming right. It's kind of just word of mouth. I feel like Osiris has more of a sense of pride of Zycos than I do.
Well, it's just like the lore and the history. I want the lore and the history of the creation to be somewhat preserved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone, we talk about Wakeham's discovering it. He has the original Holy Panda board still. Like, it's a thing in the community. And for someone to possibly rob that of you,
the original Zyco board.
It rubs me the wrong way a little bit, especially when it's notated, and then he's just like, nope, not going to do it. It's just like, yeah. And we don't like. I don't have anything against this guy personally. He can do whatever he wants. He can charge whatever he wants for switches. Justify his time in any way possible. I'm not gonna say is he charging too much. In my opinion, probably. But that's because that's something I would do myself. I'm going to make my own Zycos because it's worth more. Like the extra, what is it, $12 that I save from doing it myself for 10 switches is worth it to me. like that is worth $70 for or what would they be, 80 something dollars for a full board, a full 60, 65.
Mm-hmm.
That's worth it to me, but it could be worth it for other people to purchase from him, and then could make sense for those other people, and I get it, but it's the naming thing just bugs me.
Yeah. Lube film service for $1 per switch. I mean, that's high. That's let's be honest. Like a lot of people lubing.
I think the film though,
if you film and lube at the same time, you should like it takes like, so people, a very common price for lubing switches is about 35 cents a switch. 35 to 45 cents a switch for lubing. In my opinion, filming would only add like 10 extra cents.
Well, you're also, it depends on if you're providing the film or not, because there is there's an expense there.
Okay, so but then at that point, yes, there he is providing, but the films, but you also know that films are dirt cheap. So once again, for the actual service of spending, I would say maybe do a little more research and figure out how to do it yourself. But if you want to buy from him, by all means, just know that there might be cheaper options available to you. But what I do want to say is he has not warned anyone about these murky switches and the murky switches and or Zycos, however you choose to define the switches as. There's no warning. There's no warning. He is not explaining the fact that these are very dangerous, and a lot of people use hot swap. Hot swap is a big thing. We're seeing hot swaps in high-end boards like Ramas and like the Think 6.5. I know uses a hot swap board. Lots of KBD fan stuff uses hot swap board. So
I think that's the bigger thing too, because a lot of the people who are going to be looking for this sort of a service are going to be looking towards something like this are going to be those people who are maybe a little bit newer, who maybe they don't understand how to lube switches, or they don't know or care to get into lubing switches themselves, and they just want something that they know is going to be cool and is going to be great, and then they get it, and then they might be upset. And that's the thing that is disappointing there is those people who are going to have issues, because it's not a maybe, really, they're going to.
It's not if but when. CLLCT or solicit, I assume is how you're going to say your name. Thank you for the follow, as well as Derp Potato. Fantastic name.
Thank you for the follow.
Derp Potato, if you're in the chat, give me a yeehaw, because you've got name of the night so far. There it is. But I guess there's my spice. I don't. If you call the switch whatever you can call them, the holy fuck offs. Like, I don't care what you name them. I call them Zycos. Osiris calls them Zycos.
Dude, I'm gonna call them the fuck Daves in honor of Apiary.
Everyone in the Mechs on Deck Discord I assume most people in the Mechs on Deck's Discord knows that they're called Zycos, because I talk about Zycos like every fucking stream. But that was just something that it really rubbed me the wrong way. I brought, I found out about it. People, I'll start talking about this in just a second, but I was actually just kind of scrolling through. I had people that I was like, I have no idea how you even knew about what happened during the 24-hour stream. And I was like, I bet it was talked about in Top Clack. And I just went and I saw some very nice things said in the Top Clack Discord. And then someone else brought up like Zycos randomly. I was like, wait, Zycos, like, it's I do happen to if I see someone talking about Zycos, I'm very interested because I'm curious to know what they have to think. And then that's how I found the Reddit thread that was a pretty funny read. So, yeah.
But enough about that. Let's
Yeah.
let's shift to something that was fantastic and something that was great for not only this community but for the world. And that was what occurred this past weekend. It actually ended like literally 24 hours ago, and that was the Clackers Care stream, which I unfortunately was unable to partake in, but I did watch a significant portion of it. But you and your amazing wife, Doodle Bob, were on stream for some time. What was your experience with the Clackers Care stream? And
so first off, shout out to Visionaire who set all this up. This is actually, I think we got approached in late March. He sent both of us a PM and he was like, "Hey, we're talking about doing this thing." I won't reveal what, it had many stages. And so a lot of the content creators on Twitch, basically everyone you saw in the Clockers Care. So there were lots of discussions of what we wanted to do. We knew we wanted to do this big chain stream. And I want to say I Am Me, You Are You was the one that kind of came up with the idea of like, we should do something for charity. Or if it wasn't him, he's the one that chose Direct Relief or just brought up. But so, it's one of those, it is just kind of, it's slowly evolved. And Visionaire is kind of the one that set all this up. And so he set up the time slots and all that. And shout out again to Visionaire. The 24-hour stream ended abruptly for an unfortunate reason, my dog passing away. He was very helpful and just kind of going, if you don't want to do it, we completely understand. And I knew, so quick shout out, everyone. Thank you guys for your patience. I had a very rough week last week, but you can ask Osiris. I was very excited to get to stream this past Saturday, and I was very excited to stream this week, just to kind of get back into the normal swing of things. So thank you guys for your patience. Sorry that we missed out on a week, but honestly, I can't thank y'all enough. But I was able to stream this Saturday, and I talked with Osiris, and I was like, "Hey, I think it'd be a fun thing for my wife and I to come on." And he was even like, "No, you guys should talk about it. You guys should just tell some fun stories and talk about his favorite toys and stuff." So it was a really fun stream. I think we were third. We were after Mr. Keebs, and we fed into Stash. And it was a lot of fun. Built a really cool looking keyboard. I kind of wish most people could see it in person. I tried to it's a little hard to photograph because the pinks are they react very strange to light. But it was, it was a fun time. My wife got to come on. I think during our stream, I want to say somewhere around $600. I know we weren't, popping off the huge numbers, but I kind of figured it would start really fast and then slow down for a while and then pick up later. So really cool to see lots of money going to a great cause.
Yeah,
so
it was crazy. I was able to catch a significant portion of your stream, significant portion of Apiary stream, and then also the Mentorly portion, where I want to give a quick shout out to Jax and everyone over at the Mint Autumn team for donating a huge amount. I think he donated just over $2,000 and got almost there, and then Upas came in and donated the rest of the way to get to the $10,000 mark. So it's really crazy to see the community come together in time of need for tons of people in the world, and be able to get a significant amount of money donated to some people in need. And again, as Chewy said, shout out to Visionaire for setting it all up and for everyone involved. Plus, it was really awesome to kind of see not only the community come together, but also all of the other Twitch streamers come together and partake in something. And I think even since we kind of all joined that Discord and started things. I think there's been more and more, talks between each other, and I think it's really bringing everything together, which
Yeah.
is awesome, which is great.
Yeah, it's been really fun getting to work with, as you guys know, we are very pro work with other people. Our 24-hour stream would not have been as fun. Thanks to Dixie and Apiary, I am you, Alex Odos, Prime Caps, just all Quakems, all these awesome people coming in to hang out. Langlandia, can't believe I forgot Langlandia. I'm sorry, bud. I love you.
How dare you?
But I know, right? Like literally, I'm gonna go like slap myself later for feeling that. But we love everybody in this hobby, and the it's we have people on our show all the time, and so it's a nice, it's in the last, I think this quarantine, while it's been a horrible thing, like it's kind of helped the community come together. We've seen all these kind of dual streams with Mentorly and Alex Odos doing these build stream or this design streams together. Us and Top Clack have done a couple builds together, and us and Lang did some builds together, and I'm you. So it's just promoting all these cool things that I'm really happy where the community is at when it comes to content creators. I think it's just fun. Like I enjoy doing this so much.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's super like wholesome, when we have people on, they always talk about how one of their favorite things is the community. And it really is. The community is fantastic, and the Twitch community is growing. The Twitch side of this is really a place where the community can get exposed to a lot of different people. Twitch as a platform has millions of viewers every day. And I'm sure there are people who just tuned into that had no idea what was going on, but they were just able to enjoy and see a little piece of what this community is about. And we hope that people enjoy that.
Agent Scarn, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Thank you, dude. Says Liquid Key Design says you guys have done a great job during this time. It's awesome to see other build streamers stepping up and working together to give us all something to watch and learn from. That's all we can do, right? It's I think, and honestly, and he just said something. One of the nicest things I think I've been told in a while was Brez was like, or one night he didn't really say it to like be nice, but it was more of like he just said it and it made me feel all warm and fuzzy. So he was like, man, it's been kind of, he's like, we were talking privately. By the way, for those who don't know, Brez1623, longtime watcher of the channel. We promoted him to Twitch mod to help out with moderation during Twitch stream. So congrats to Brez. But Brez said something like, he was like, I'm glad you're getting your time, but honestly, I'm so bored this week without Mechs on deck. It's been like really boring. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It was just nice to hear, like, it's, we strive to create something that people look forward to. And it's nice to get confirmation, at least from one person.
Yeah, no, it makes us feel a little bit validated in what we do, and that we're not just like two crazy dudes that are just sitting here talking about super expensive keyboards for no reason. People enjoy what we do, and you look forward to it, and we appreciate y'all. We can't tell you enough, especially like everything this past couple months. The 24-hour stream was absolutely insane.
It was nuts.
Like, I think when we did the first 24-hour stream, we both looked at each other and were like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then this past one, we were like, this is like absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was just like stunned. It took me a few days to kind of remove myself from that situation, as that was very taxing on me mentally. But looking back, I was just like blown away that this happened, and you guys were so like, people were there almost the entire time. a big regret that I have, but unfortunately I just couldn't do, is the fact that we did have to cut it short. So we're going to find a way to give that those 2 hours back at some point. So we'll figure that out. Like I said, we're giving away the Ortho 75 we were supposed to give away. We have 2 more giveaways that we're going to give away throughout. There's one that I need to finish up, and then there's another that we were asked to wait on, just because he is still wrapping up the Yoda cap. He has asked us to wait until the Yoda caps are ready to be like shipped. So, but yeah, it's one of those things that, once Osiris and I talked about it, it was like, I cannot believe the success of that stream and how awesome it was and how much fun it was. And we had a lot more fun doing it this time around because of the community. Like, we were talking about it, and I was like, I love that we don't have all this crap everywhere. He's like, we have nicer stuff now. And I'm like, yes, we do, because the community helped support us and we were able to get all this awesome stuff. And so it was a lot of fun. So
yeah, it was. Also, people I see talking about the flipping of like the JWK linears and other switches. Yeah, I would say if you are looking at switches and you don't absolutely need them, if you absolutely need switches and you want to buy, some alpacas or some mauves or some of the other variants of that switch, maybe check out creams if they're in stock. Check out inks. Inks are still great. You can get some other switches that are pretty dang good options for less money. I wouldn't purchase those switches on Mech Market for like double, triple, sometimes even quadruple what the actual price of them is, because that's just insane.
They're not worth that much. Like, I'll tell you right now, just feeling, I'm building an alpaca board very soon. Shout out to Mentorly for hooking that up. I'm building an alpaca board. I still know I'm going to like my creams better because I think creams sound. Yeah. Most linears are going to, if you know how to build a linear how you want it, the only real difference is going to be the sound.
Yeah. And I mean, you can get Telios too. Like, Telios are in stock. Like, just go buy something there. Like, these switches, the ploy to those JWK switches is because they are the price that they are, and the quality and the smoothness that you get for the price that you can purchase them at. It's the same reason why some people are absolutely still head over heels in love with Gateron yellows. They're so cheap and they feel great for a really cheap price. Whereas with like a alpaca or something, while it is a fantastic switch at the price that it is marked at on websites like Prime KB or Project Keyboard or Canon Keys with the mauves, you can still, like, when you're buying them for that much more money, you might as well just buy something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will. It's one of those. If I had to buy switches right now, and it was like, we're taking all your boards away, we're giving you 2, but you have to buy switches right now, but they're going to be priced. I would spend, personally, I think creams are worth $1 a switch. They're not, and I'm very fortunate they're not, but I would spend $1 per switch for creams, no more. If it was between that and stock price inks, I'd probably go, or if it was like $1.50 for creams and 65 cents for inks, I'd probably just buy inks. I just don't think it's that much of a difference. I would buy Holy Panda. There are really not many switches I would buy over $1. Zelios, Holy Pandas, which you just kind of have to because it adds up, and creams. I'm fortunate enough that creams are not that expensive. If you can get creams when they're in stock, get them. And Novel Keys is not dumb. He's trying he's trying to keep up. He's doing his best. He just released these blueberries, which I'm super excited to build in, but he's trying to make creams as fast as he can.
Yeah. And I mean,
like, it's not just not doing it.
The thing too is, it's like, if you can wait, It's not like alpacas are gone. This isn't an Inver Panda situation of a la 2018 where they're gone and they're at that time not coming back. These switches are coming and they're being made, and things, especially in China, are very open and running. So they are coming. It's just you might have to be a little bit patient. If you maybe want to wait a little bit, you can get a Switch at a way cheaper price and just have a little patience.
Yeah. Shout out to L. Thompson. I fully agree. I am team tactile, but I love me some creams.
Creams.
And I can't wait for my cream board to be. I'm actually my cream board is going in a TKL of I've mentioned before, but it's a private buy. But I am a you are you, and I both got a cream or a TKL board of this. We're actually building each other's boards once that eventually gets there, and so I'm shipping him out my creams, my 89 gram 205 grade 0 lubed creams, and I cannot wait because I get more and more jealous every time I type on the Sirius because I'm just like I want it, but I don't have the board for it.
Creams are the tactile boys and girls switches that makes them enjoy linears.
Yep, it's the sound, man.
It's that sound.
Tactile creams. Yeah, Pacos are just holy creams. Pacos, solid switch. I think blueberries are better. If you can find blueberries, get them.
Which those will be coming back too if they're sure they're out of stock right now, but they will be coming back.
They'll be back. Thought I was team linear, but finding tactile is more interesting. I think it's quite strange. The amount of difference you could make in a bump is huge. So like Zelio's a nice rounded, like calm, like I feel like this is just like a cream, where Holy Panda's a little more like a little bit more punchy. And then like blueberries are like all just like, you want a fucking tactile switch, take a fucking tactile switch. And the reason I have Zycos is just like my stomach. It's just like it stops at the bottom. Yeah, it's it's all different. Where with linears, I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna put the spring that I like in it. So I don't care what spring weight these are. Just give them to me. I'm gonna put the springs that I like more in them, and now it's all about sound. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said earlier, linears are the variance between switches a lot about the sound, the way that it feels, the stock smoothness, right? Like is
stock smooth, stock weight. Like I get that, but there's really not a lot of switches that I think 78 gram Zelios are the only switch that I'm like, I will use this spring. Outside of that, and that's not like that's just a preference thing. That sounds like an elitist thing, but that's just because I've tried all these different ones, and I've found that 74 gram is probably my favorite tactile. 78 gram is right after that with the Zycos. And while they're probably not 78 gram anymore, my Holy Jesus switches had 78 gram. So that range is really great. And then I like the 90 to 100 for linears. I think that's a really fun.
Tate, not thing. Modern. Dude, grab some. You can pick up some Holy Pandas that are pre-made over on Drop right now. It'll take a little while for them to get there. Or honestly, the Zelio V2s, while they're right at $1 a switch, they're pretty awesome. They just don't sound amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Is they feel great. They sound kind of, I'd say, good. They don't sound.
They sound fine if you put 3204 in them. Not personally for me, but they're all right. Yes, I do like heavy springs. I do need to get those 98 gram Novel Keys springs. Maybe I'll do that, and then I can give you my 89 gram spring. You've been asking for heavier springs for some switches.
I am contemplating taking the Mavs out of my Bower and replacing the spring, making it a little bit heavier because I feel like it kind of needs it. But I don't know. I haven't fully decided yet. I want to get them fully broken in first.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think I like breaking in. For me, takes a long time. I really like it to be at a certain level.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited to try these blueberries though. I think I'm gonna have 2 different boards of blueberries with 2 different spring weights. I found that 89-gram springs and blueberries round out the bump some and make them feel like a very solid tactile roundness. And then I'm also gonna build some lubed but stock spring blueberries in something. I don't know what yet. So have you tried any of the thick Thok springs? I guess not.
No, I don't think either of us have. I know Chewy uses mostly either TX or the Novel Keys springs.
Honestly, I've moved off of TX. I think Novel Keys is probably my favorite spring maker or spring distributor. I have like 5 bags of Novel Keys springs. Right, every time I buy something from Novel Keys, I just grab some springs. For the blueberries, was very disappointing. I've ended up putting a blue stem in the red pandas I had just for the looks. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Honestly, I do really, I really like blueberry stems and a panda housing. I did think I tried that and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I did have the realization about blueberries like just before they came out, or just before they actually released. I was talking with Quakums from Top Clack, and he was like, "Yeah, they're gonna be sharp." He's like, "It's gonna be a sharp bump," and I was like, "He's like, Mike likes sharp bumps," and I was like, "You know what? Yeah, like the box royals, super sharp bump. These are gonna be sharp bump," and I'm like, "Yep, people might not like them as much."
Purple trash pandas, sharp bump. NK65 V2. Any thoughts? I haven't seen any pictures of the V2, but I respect what he's trying to do. I will not personally buy one because it is a 65% board, but I think I've never heard anyone say anything bad about the first one. So I imagine that it'll be good.
I
Like it'll
think
be a solid
is
board.
that the injection molded one, the purple one, like the Rama one is like Rama's doing for the Kara or however you say it.
Plastic injection molded, so
Yeah,
it's plastic.
I mean, it's awesome. I think it's
Keep it
great.
around $100. That will take over the Tada for if he can keep it in stock, it will take over the Tada as the best entry level price point.
Yeah, I mean, I
But
imagine he's trying to do the same thing where it comes with a nice PCB and everything, and get you kind of the full package for one low price, which is a super awesome thing. It's one of those things. I think the board is perfect and it's great and it's what the community needs, but I think it's also not necessarily made. It's not made for someone like Chewy and myself. I think we're in a different place in our keyboard journey than the market of that.
Mhm.
But definitely appreciate it and love what that board is going to do, as well as the Kara, what those 2 boards are going to do for the community. Because I think
Yeah.
we even said all the way back to one of our very first episodes with Quakums, we were talking about how we wish that these higher end keyboard companies, the bigger names, would make products that carried their same name and their quality at a lower price point. Because everyone wants to have something that has the brand name on it, right? Like everyone wants something that says Rama. Novel Keys is a big name in the community. They're really one of the largest stores here in North America, if not the largest volume stores in America for keyboards. So I think it's awesome. It's what the community needed.
Absolutely. So other than that, if you guys have any questions for us, I think that covers pretty much everything we got. I'll say this: we have a build stream tomorrow, but I don't have the board. So the board is coming to me, but this is actually a thing that I have gifted Osiris a keyboard as of like 3 months ago.
Shout outs to
But
Chewy.
thank you. The board um, it's being shipped and it's supposed to be here tomorrow morning. But I can't say what it is that we're building until I have it in hand. And then come hell or high water, I'm going to get that damn board to him tomorrow. So it will be one of those things that's like, we're going to. I will announce it. Keep your eyes on our Instagram, because I'll probably make a story about it. Hopefully, because I also want to watch them open it, because I enjoy watching people open gifts that I get for them. But yeah, I'm really excited. How can I join group buys that I see on Z Frontier? They always join a group with a bunch of number following, but I don't understand. Never joined a group buy from Z Frontier.
Yeah, neither have I.
I know they do a lot more like international. So
yeah, it's not the key cult. I'm gonna dispel that right now. It is. It's not a key cult 65.
I don't like it that much. Jeez.
But very excited. If it does not happen, I will be building Zykos. Murkies, dude. No, no, I'll be building Zykos, which will also be fun and informational. I will be building them with switches that were soldered before, so hopefully we'll not break any, or it will break very few of them. But I will we'll keep you up to date. Follow us on Instagram, join our Discord, because that's where we'll be updating what's going to be happening tomorrow night at 8 p.m., which is like 23 hours from now.
Mm-hmm. So, but other than that, we have an Ortho 75 to give out. So I think we might do some marbles.
I think we might. I gotta get it open. I'm opening my Steam. I'm gonna see how many games it's gonna tell me I need to update, and then I'm gonna hit no, and then we'll get into some marbles. All right, let's see.
What's up,
here. Gonna do some giveaways. Marble. All right, let's see if this works. See how long it takes for me to open up.
What was the board you guys were describing as a good replacement for the Tada space? The NK65, I think, will be a good way to like replace that, like that low cost. So,
Well, chat, if you were here for the 24-hour stream, you know how this works. We're going to let you pick the map. So you type !vote followed by a number, and that number can be 1 through, let me make sure it hasn't changed, 54. 1 through 54, and then y'all will get to choose. Everyone can enter. No one gets anything extra for being anything. Sorry about you. We do appreciate those. But yeah, so get in your votes, and we'll see which map is chosen. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my phone so I can see what's going on, because I only have 2 monitors and Chewy's on one and the game's on the other. I want to look at chat. I'm sure the Zyko's Austin build was a pain in the butt. It's off so you can see the name. Chewy, how do you feel about the Ortho 75?
I think it's a cool, I would try it. I think it'll be a cool board. I mean, it's free, right? It'll be something you can turn it into something unique and cool. It might be great to test soldering on. It might be great to test switches on. It'll be fun little test, because it's kind of like a kit. You have to solder in a lot of stuff. So, and it's free. So, and it's international. Canon Keys is shipping internationally. So, I think that it is something that's fantastic to kind of, if I had one, I would love to tinker with it. It's going to be a great little tinker tool. You can turn into an awesome keyboard. There's some, they have Canon Keys has a PBT set for pretty inexpensive that will fit that board too. So, it's a cool board overall.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Neither of us are Ortho guys. You might not be either, but you might win this board and figure out that you are in fact someone who loves the ortho style layout. All right, so it looks like the space station is winning right now. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that one. Thank you, chat, for picking one that was not like a minute long. We want to stretch out this content as much as possible. But just kidding. But yeah, so the space station it is. Again, chat, when you're wanting to enter, you type !play, and you can be entered to win a free Ortho 75 kit. Get yourself a free board. Get yourself something fun to play with. It's a little bit of an involved build, but definitely worth it in my.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. So who do we got this week, Chewy? Who are we talking to on
So
Wednesday?
we are talking to, well, actually, so as right now it is Starstone. It might change for details I will explain later, but it as of right now it is Starstone.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I give an extra shout out to Cannon Keys for providing this Ortho 75 to us to give away. Like Chewy said, we're going to be kind of periodically over the next couple weeks finishing up the giveaways that we were unable to complete during the 24-hour stream. We got a couple more things, so be sure to come back every Monday at 8 p.m. Central. Hang out with us, listen to us ramble on about murkies and other things that happen in the community, and win some free stuff.
Count it.
Just wanted to say thanks for the stream.
Very
Keep doing
exciting.
what you're doing,
So we
and
got
learning a lot
48
about the
people,
community from you guys.
more than that in chat. Once again, it's internationally shipped, free to whoever you want. Just be
So Chewy, I know you can't hear this, but I just want to give a quick shout out to Agent Skarn. Thank you for the $10, my dude. He says, just wanted to say thanks for the stream. Keep doing what you're doing, learning a lot about the community from you guys.
Agent Skarn. Thank you, man. Thank you very, very much. So, but yeah, guys, international shipping, be patient because some of the shipping might get a little messy with the world. The world is the way it is right now. So, it will be, it will do, we will do our best to work with Cannon Keys, but if you have to wait a little bit, if you're US, Canada, it shouldn't be an issue. You're outside, there might just be a little bit longer of a time, so just bear with us.
We wanna wait a little while so we can make sure that you actually get it. Because things are crazy right now. Again, !play to be entered in this game of marbles to win the free Ortho 75. I'm gonna roll it here at 9:25, so that's in like a couple seconds. So get that !play in right now because we're gonna be rolling here in just a few seconds. Be up and
Very nice. Very excited to get this going. Dude, I love marbles too, man. And shipping is a bitch. It's unfortunate. Shout out to our moderator, Rick, who helped ship out a lot of the giveaway stuff. We're still working on getting the rest of the giveaway stuff out, but it's shout out to him. He really helped he swung by and picked up all the stuff to give away. So can you describe the feeling of typing on nice tactiles? I've only experienced Linners and MX Browns. It's a heavier bump, and you really feel the bump. Like if you're typing on it's very like like when you're actuating.
Feels good. All right, it's 9:25. Let's get these marbles rolling. Sure, he doesn't like my joke. I see that. Last couple seconds. Let's see kind of how this goes. This one's interesting. Got a big tunnel. Go around the tunnel. I think I need to get better at my marble commentating game. Yeah.
I just what's funny is I'm always trying to keep up with like who is at the top, but especially at the beginning, I'm always like what because it's just like going back and forth.
mean, more often than not, the game doesn't even know who's in top.
Yeah.
A lot of these
So, but
maps people don't
great
know.
Majir.
Oh
appears-
man. Just as you said that, the caster curse there for the Great
Yeah,
Major.
there it is.
Real effects though. He's been in the lead for a minute. See, like right now the game's going crazy because it thinks a whole bunch of other people are in the front. Oh, Wilson just overtook him. Did you
There
see
it is.
Wilson?
Wilson 1155.
You know it. You know it. Oh, cursed him. See, now the game's messing up.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Self. It's in the. We're gonna go free balling.
I like it.
Trying to
I
find.
like it.
We're
How you
just
doing?
see if we can catch
Saw
up.
Chio pop up for just a second.
Real Effects is still in the lead. Jeff Leopard is in second, followed by, I can't read the name because they're on top of each other. Oh, Real Effects just went, is zooming. Now he's in. Now it knows. Now it knows. All right. Wrong Geo. Not win this on me again.
Real FX. I've said your name, so I'm sorry if I cursed you.
Dude, he's well, you did it again.
I did it again. I'm sorry,
You-
Real FX.
You dang.
I mucked it up.
But you know what? It's okay. He could prevail. He's only in fifth. Patron, 7. Patron. I'm gonna roll with that. 7-12 in the lead, coming in hot, going through the holes and now into the blocks. And he gets stalked. And Real Effects coming in hot.
Oh, he's coming.
And as soon as I said that,
God,
he
no,
gets cut. And Mr.
Oh,
Tito.
he's there. Mr. Tito, Real FX. Tight race. Tight race.
Spam your exclamation
Tito
point
going.
boost. Does it do anything? I don't really know, but it looks
Oh,
cool in
Real
the chat.
FX coming in.
Real Effects coming in hot, trying to take the win, reclaim his first place. Photo Master.
Oh, he's taking these edges real tough.
Foam Master on his tail, but then gets hit. Here we go. Another set of holes in the ground. It's boosted. Tron 712 wants some revenge. Who wants to win this Ortho 75 kit? Who wants to be the victor? How long is this map? And it's almost done. Will Real Effects make it? Or will Patron 712 come in and steal it right out from underneath him? But he won't! Real
I just feel
Effects!
it. Is there going to be another side up? Not today. We will have more giveaways soon, but this is it. But congratulations. Let's see. Where are you in chat? I saw you typing earlier. Real Effects, say something so I can Twitch message you.
Finish the map without
Where
being
you are.
muted. Way to go, Gio. I don't know if we'd re-roll. We'd probably just go with who got second. Real Effects, you won, my dude. Please say something in chat. There he is. Yo. In chat, thank you for playing. Thank you for entering.
There he is. I see a yo.
You did not win. Come back next week. We're going to be giving away something else. I'm not sure what it will be just yet, but it will happen next week. So you're going to want to come tune in at 8 p.m. Central to find out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be...
All right, Real Effects, I have sent you a message in Twitch. Just respond to that real quick. The next time, give it to last place, not dead last place. I'd be. So, yeah, we're gonna raid someone here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, Let's see, is Mentorly still going strong? Let's see where she's at. Let's see.
Do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors again. Check everyone out on this list if I can spell. Switchmod.net.
We're gonna go for Mint.
Check out switchmod.net/mechsondeck. Pick up GMK Frostwitch. Dixie Mech. Head on over to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com. Pick up GMK Redacted, as well as Moto Round 2 running next month. Project Keyboard, mechsondeck.project.link, GMK Masterpiece. And then if you're also still into blue, canonkeys.com/mechsondeck, GMK Deep Navy. And then, of course, as always, shout outs to zapcables.com and Type Beast. And then the unlisted endorser of the channel, Smith and Rune. Shout outs to all those guys. Support them. Use those links. It helps us.
Yep. So we're gonna set up this raid for Mint right now. She's building a bower, and we're going to. I want to share some pupper love. So let's demand that she give her pupper a treat for me and for Squid. We'll talk more about the Squid 60. We were going to talk about the day. We'll talk about that more on Wednesday. So
Chewy's making a board. Yeah. It's going to be called the Squid 60.
A board.
It's the same thing as a baka, but different.
It's the same, but different. So yeah, guys, thank you very much and enjoy Mentorly.